Well, hello again. This is my third video of late. And in the last video, I discussed when a potential global market crash would occur on the 2nd of October. So what I do with my decoding, I would like to try and reveal the simulation, which is, I think, what Mr. Paul had intended and the Bearable Guy had intended us to understand. So let's look back in time to what Paul has given us in relation to this 10 and 2. Now, what could cause a global market crash? Obviously, the 33.1 trillion debt ceiling, debt limit could absolutely have a financial impact and will have a financial impact. But wouldn't it be just so convenient and part of this simulation if we have a black swan event that causes the problem rather than it being any politician's fault that it happened? So if we get some sort of event, which wouldn't surprise me one little bit, which is exactly what happens whenever a massive correction comes into the market, a la lockdown. We saw 2 days later, XRP and every other market crashed down to 11 cents. So what's going to be different this time? Nothing. Nothing will be different. XRP will crash again, just like all of them do. It's no different. We're not ready for the new financial system yet. So if we do get the crash, everything goes down, we are going to be buying an absolutely wonderful bottom. I am going to provide my decode in the coming weeks as to why I think a price that it could be in the lower than 30 cents could be coming towards us. But again, this is not financial advice. This is just about opportunity. I'm learning the same as everybody else. We're in this combined think tank that allows us all to mirror and submerge our thoughts together, create something anew. So nobody's to be criticized for an idea. You know, my ideas, Ripple in Wales, he's doing some great videos at the minute, which highlight everything you need to know and try and get that market sentiment in your mind so that you haven't got this derangement hodl syndrome that so many people have. I was included in that. Derangement hodl syndrome created by the voices that are here to annoy and, you know, just stifle you. If you just hodl between now and 2025, I promise you're going to be upset along the way. I promise you. You're going to have an emotional roller coaster. Unless you sit back and do nothing, you don't even play the game, you sit out, you don't even watch the charts, you don't get involved, you'll be fine. But if you're watching everything, which I know that so many of you are, like a hawk, I can guarantee you are going to be absolutely unhappy with your decision-making process to do nothing. I promise you that. So it's that syndrome, that hodl derangement syndrome that so many of us have or have had, that you need to shake. You need to get real, because shit's about to get real this year, okay? And you need to start thinking about yourself, okay? And how you are going to navigate. Sure, just hodl, that's fine. And if you wait to 2024 and enjoy the benefits of that, that's fine. But again, if you don't consider taking profits, I think you are going to suffer mentally and financially. Okay, that's my strong warning to you. So, looking back in time to see what Paul says about this potential financial crash, and these are some of the links logical links that I would use to determine if an event would occur. Now, I made a slight mistake here, and I said at 1,127 day, Paul says W. I went back in time, thanks to Fojack. He creates a great database on his Twitter of all of the Paul, or most of the Paul drops. And I went back in time 1,127 days, and it took me to the 31st of August, 2020. Now, I only just occurred to me that this is 2022. Nevertheless, this is one of the techniques that the riddlers use. They will give you a post in the past or the present for a specific day, and that will match mathematically with something in the future. So it doesn't matter that I went back and to the wrong year. The matters is the day that it occurred. And what I get on that day is the W. And of course, 22 is still representative numerically as 2020. If you reduce the zeros or you remove the zeros, you're still left with the 22. So we're given a W. Now, what could W mean? It could mean a whole host of things. But if we go back 589 days from the 2nd of October, again, this is accurate. We get the 20th of February in 2022. That was 4 days before the Russian-Ukrainian war was announced. So that's 2 W's. 2 W's for World War, perhaps. I don't want to predict it, but, we are being shown the simulation by Paul, and it's in my code to figure these things out. And this is what I want to present to you. You don't have to agree. It's not a problem, but this is for your perusal only. Then we have 364 days. Paul shows a nuclear fallout. This video, it links to a nuclear fallout. It's a countdown. I'll see if I can find the video before the end. A countdown and then an explosion. And then we have stay safe with a smile. That is 139 days where we get that as well. Actually, I think this is Moscow and stay safe. What's 364 and 139? Well, they are the golden ratio of when you chuck in 589 into a golden ratio, you get 364. Not 365, but 364. Then you get 224.9. You could argue 225 for 2025. And if I put 364 in here, the algorithm continues down to 139, and you can keep going down and down and down until you get the answer that you are looking for. Here's my explanation. Why do I choose it? Yeah, here is the continuation. 589, 364, 224, 139, 86 and 53. The numbers continue to go down and down. So if we'd go back 86 days and 1 year, we get some dominoes from Mr. Paul, some fireworks in what looks like Russia, and the words reinforcements to begin, etc. So we've got the dominoes, the fireworks, and reinforcements. And that's 86 days and 1 year. So following the golden ratio, 86 being part of that continuation. If we go back 53 days and 1 year, we get the air raid siren here. Sorry, this was the countdown. Sorry, it wasn't an explosion, it was just a siren. So all in all, we've got up here, this wasn't the countdown, this was just Moscow, a picture of Moscow, the city of Moscow, staying safe. Moscow obviously being in Russia, so it's all connected to the war. And so the trickle of links continue. We've got air raid sirens, we've got reinforcements, fireworks, we've got Moscow staying safe, and the W's, the World War. I also went to look at 123 days prior, but there is a number 122 that Paul has used many times. You go back 122 days and you get ready in reverse, which means you're not ready. And then if we go from when BG reposted his Lodestar 1, where he says, keep an eye out for some interesting world events in the works 2019. Well, there's an interesting use of letters there. Worldwide and works are all the W's, and 2019 may suggest if we drop the 9 and the 0, as you should do in numerology, you're left with a 2 and a 1. That would give us a 3. 2 plus 1 is 3, and we're left with World War 3. I'm not saying it happens, but I'm just saying this is some of the discernible information that we can deduce from that. Is BG an architect? Do you think he's just a bear in a suit? There is no way. What I know is coming up in one of my future videos. This bear is the architect. He is not just some little dude. And you have stumbled across an opportunity, my friends, to be witness, to bear witness to some of the most insane events that you'll ever live through. And you're going to come out the other side because you're mentally prepared. You're of my mindset, my awakened mindset. You are going to come out mentally prepared, and you're going to be prepared for the financial rewards that will be coming thereafter. 22 weeks and 3 days prior to 10/2, Howard Moon posted one ring to rule them all on the 28th of April. Now, I know that it has multiple meanings because I've decoded some of them, but it could mean that this is the beginning of the moment where the one ring, the certain aspects you will want to be investing in will start to trickle through. So I think the shit coins will start disappearing. And the coins that really matter, the one ring to rule them all that most people think is XRP, and it probably is at a certain point in time, you will probably want to be accumulating. And if it by chance does have a mysterious pump as a result of this, while the crash is occurring, then you know it was just a pump signal. But this is the beginning of the end of much enjoyment in our future. But if you do manage to pick up some cheap XRP, then well done you. But of course, distractions such as a war, when the markets are tumbling, are going to make most people think very, very much last to wanting to reinvest. But that's what you got to keep your eye on. This is the test. This is the simulation we're in. You got to keep your eye on the game. And of course, I say here that the above doesn't mean anything will happen, of course, but as we close in the end of 2023, which is the anagram of the 322, was always going to be eventful. We have the 22nd anniversary of 9/11 coming up. 22 has been a huge number in this game. We have the 22-2. We know it's important. It's in virtually every film as symbolic. The 22 is used everywhere. And of course, we have the Build Back Better narrative, which was part of the Great Reset in the early 2020 when the crash happened due to Corona. And Paul reminds us, I haven't got the tweet, but I've got the memory of it. He says simulations will continue. 2020 was a test. Enjoy 2023. It's coming. Change is coming. It's going to be mind-blowing. And you're going to look forward to the rest of the things that I've got to say about the rest of this year coming, because there are some wonderful, intriguing things that I can divulge from the architect, the bear himself. I look forward to presenting them